Hey, what's up, guys? You're here with Goran from Pickdawgz, and you're here for your free picks for Saturday, October 21st. Well, guys, we have a very busy day ahead of us, and in addition to all of these games in Europe, we have full slate in the MLS. Is the last day of the regular season, 14 games on the schedule. So stay tuned for that. Go to the Pickdawgz YouTube channel, subscribe, hit that like button, guys, and of course, for my best bets, click the link in the description of this video. That will get you up to my page on the Pick Dawgz website, and there you can sign up, get a daily pass, 3-day pass, or even a 7-day pass, which is probably some of your best value because you will be getting all of this weekend's picks, all of the Champions League picks, Europa League picks, and stuff like that. So get on board, guys, and let's win some money. In this video, I have, I believe, 22 free picks for you from the top five European football leagues, and I have two parlays at the end of it. I have a parlay that I made, which is a five-legger that pays on it plus 713, and I have a big 10-leg parlay, which I generated using our betting tools at sportchatplace.com. There should be a link in the description for it. If not, just go to sportchatplace.com, go to betting tools, and you can find soccer there, and you can generate your parlays, whether you want a three-leg parlay, four-leg, five-leg, and so on and so on. You can choose money lines over under. You can choose goal scorer props, whatever you want. You can find it, and it's quite handy, guys. So check it out. Let's get the show on the road, guys. We have lots of games to talk about, and the first one is the Merseyside Derby between Liverpool and Everton. It's being played at Anfield, and it's going to be quite an exciting game, in my opinion, because Liverpool has been scoring a lot of goals this season. They have also been conceding a lot of goals, and they are coming into this game with a bunch of injured players, and their latest injury is Andy Robertson, who will be out for, I believe I read, a couple of months or so, which is definitely a huge blow for this team. Gagbo is still listed as questionable. There are a few other injured players, and Curtis Jones is suspended because of the red card. Everton is also missing a couple of players, but they have been showing some signs of life, and they have lost only one of their last four games. They have won the other three, and you know what? Because of that, I think that Everton will get on the scoreboard. I think they have the quality to beat this Liverpool defense. Whether they get a win or not, I'm not really concerned about that because my pick for this one is both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at minus 127. Bournemouth and Wolverhampton is the next matchup we have in the EPL, and neither of these two teams have been quite consistent this season, especially Bournemouth, who is still without a win at home this season. And I honestly think this is going to be the game where they will get their first home win. Wolverhampton is a decent team. They have some solid players. They have been playing decent football as of late, but they have two suspended players, and both of those players are in the starting lineup. So that's going to be a bit of a problem for Wolverhampton on the road. And with that in mind, guys, like I said, I think that Bournemouth will get their first win at home of the season, and I'm going to take Bournemouth on the money line. It's plus 143 right now. Brentford and Burnley is the next matchup that we have to talk about, and Brentford has been really bad this season. They have 0 wins, 3 draws, and 1 loss at home so far this season. They haven't won any of their last 6 games. But luckily for them, Burnley is not that good of a defensive team, and Burnley has conceded 20 goals already this season. They haven't conceded a lot of them on the road, which is quite surprising. They're actually playing a lot better on the road than they are playing at home. But I still think we're gonna see some goals in this one. So I'm gonna go with over 2.5 minus 117. I think that both teams will go for it, and that should give us quite an open matchup with a lot of chances and a lot of goals. The next big matchup we have is between Manchester City and Brighton. Now, Manchester City has lost 3 of their last 4 games. They have lost their last 2 EPL games, one to Arsenal on the road, one to Wolverhampton, and they have lost in the Carabao Cup to Newcastle 1-0. The only win they got was against Leipzig in the Champions League. Now, Manchester City is still the best team in the EPL, in my opinion. The problem for them right now is that they will be without Rodri, who is suspended because of the red card, and they will be without Kevin De Bruyne once again, who is scheduled to come back in like what 2-3 months maybe. And without him, Holland is having a lot of problems with scoring goals. Of course, he still scored 8 goals in 8 games, which is a very good stat. But he takes a lot of chances, and he does not get a lot of service from the other midfielders and other players in this team. And that's something Manchester City has to work on if they want to stay at the top of the league. As far as Brighton goes, they were on a huge run, but now they actually have only one win in their last 6 games. They haven't won any of their last 4 games, and this is going to be a very, very hard game for them. City hasn't lost to Brighton in their last 6 home games, and I honestly think they will get a win here. So I'm going to take City -1.5 at +100. Uh, I was going to go with the over 2.5 as City to win, but I honestly could see this game ending in a 2-0 win for Manchester City. So that's my reasoning for this game, and for that reason, I'm taking Manchester City -1.5 at +100. Newcastle is hosting Crystal Palace in this one, and I know that on paper Newcastle has a lot of advantage here. They have better players, they have more depth, they are more consistent right now, and they have less injured players than Newcastle. But I think it's going to be a fairly tight game. I do believe that Newcastle is going to come out on top. They are in great form, especially at home, and I'm going to take Newcastle -1 at -141. Honestly, if you don't want to bet this game, skip it, guys. There are better games on the slate on Saturday, and that's exactly what I might do. But if I were to bet this game, it would be Newcastle -1. Nottingham Forest and Luton Town is the next matchup, and I'm keeping this one very, very simple. Luton Town is struggling a lot, especially on their own this season, and Nottingham Forest's best games are when they're playing at home. So I'm gonna take Nottingham Forest on the money line. It's -148 right now. Snag that price if you have it, guys. If not, wait a little bit; it might drop. But I think that Nottingham Forest will come out on top in this one. Chelsea and Arsenal is another big derby that we have in the EPL, guys, and it's a London derby between two teams in a pretty good form right now. And Chelsea is actually on a three-game winning streak. They finally look like a good team. They finally are scoring goals. They have scored 7 goals in their last 3 games, kept a couple of clean sheets, and definitely they're moving with confidence right now. The only problem is that they still have a bunch of injured players, and their depth is not that great, to be honest. As far as Arsenal goes, I see that Saka and Saliba are listed as questionable, while Trossard is listed as injured. So I don't think he'll be playing in this game. But overall, Arsenal still has a lot of great players on the bench. They still have a lot of depth and quality, so they should have a top lineup for this game. Arsenal is also playing the Champions League next week against Sevilla, so there might be some rotations here in this starting lineup for them, but I definitely think they have what it takes to get to the scoreboard here against Chelsea. And I'm going to put my faith in Chelsea here as well. So I'm going to take both teams to score -132. I'm going to try to avoid the sides as much as I can, but I think we're going to see at least a goal on each side. And the last game of the day in the EPL is between Sheffield United and Manchester United. Now, I will fade Manchester United once again in this game. Uh, because I mean they are the better team here, definitely. It's only a matter of time before they bounce back. And Sheffield hasn't won any of their last 10 games. They're on a 4-game losing streak. They're a horrible, horrible team. And Manchester United should get a win here. However, I decided to go with a player prop here, and we know that Marcus Rashford takes a lot of shots for Manchester United. So I'm gonna take Rashford to have over 1.5 shot on target, and it's +125. If anyone takes shots, it's Marcus Rashford for some reason. Every shot he gets, he takes it, and that's a big problem for Manchester United. They are not fixing it, so hey, let's take it. So I'm taking Rashford over 1.5 shots on target at +125. Off to the Spanish La Liga, guys. We have Real Sociedad playing against Mallorca. And even though Real Sociedad is a pretty heavy favorite here, Mallorca actually has been doing decent job as of late, and they have been scoring goals quite consistently. They have scored at least 1 goal in each of their last 5 games, and with the fact that Real Sociedad is playing in the Champions League next week, I think they might do some rotations here. So I'm gonna take the over 2.5, especially at the +133 price that the books are offering me. I will gladly take it. Even if I lose this game, I won't be sorry because I think we should see an exciting game here, especially from Mallorca. because they have been playing so well as of late, at least in that attacking end. So Sociedad against Mallorca over 2.5 goals plus 133. We have another big matchup in La Liga, and that is between Sevilla and Real Madrid. Sevilla has been all over the place this season. Yes, they have lost only one of their last six games, but they have also won only one of their last six games. While Real Madrid, on the other side, is on a four-game winning streak, and they have scored 12 goals in those four games. They're averaging three scored goals per game right now. I know that there's been an international break between now and their last game. They are missing some players, especially on the defensive end. Militao is out, Ceballos is out, and Nacho is out as well. They will be a bit short-staffed when it comes to defending, but still, they have a lot of offensive firepower. And even if Sevilla gets on the scoreboard, I think that Real Madrid can outscore them here. Whether that happens or not, I'm not really sure because I think Sevilla might step it up here, which is why I'm gonna go with both teams to score in over 2.5 at minus 108 instead of choosing the sides. And this should definitely be another exciting game in La Liga. Celta Vigo and Atletico Madrid is the last La Liga game we have in this video, and I'm keeping this one very, very simple, guys. Celta Vigo is horrible. Once again, defensively, they are bad. They're basically non-existent. They are struggling a lot. They can't keep a clean sheet. They're still winless at home this season, and they're facing Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, who's on a five-game winning streak. They have scored at least two goals in each of those five games, and I definitely see that continuing here once again. They do have a few injured players. They will be missing some depth, yes. But with Griezmann and Morata up front, I think that Atletico Madrid can get us two goals, and I'm gonna take over 1.5 goals. Atletico Madrid team total, and it's plus 110. I think it's definitely worth the risk, and I think that they will have another great game here, and they will keep their form high for that Champions League matchup they have. So Atletico Madrid team total over 1.5 goals at plus 110. Off to the Italian Serie A, guys, and we have Verona playing against Napoli. Verona is a decent team when they're playing at home, but Napoli is also a very, very good team that has been struggling a lot as of late, and they will be without Victor Osimhen for this game, who is injured. Now, on top of that, Napoli is playing the Champions League next week against Union Berlin, which is a game they should win. But I think that they might rest some players here. I'm sure they will go for the win. They definitely will. But I think that we might see some rotations here. But even without some of their starters, I think that Napoli should get a lot of advantage here against this sloppy Verona team, who has been all over the place. Decent defensively. They have conceded only two home games so far this season. They're not scoring a lot, so I'm not worried about them outscoring Napoli. But I'm gonna stay away from goals and sides. I'm gonna take Kvaratskhelia to have over 1.5 shots on target for Napoli. It's plus 160. Without Osimhen in the lineup, he will be taking penalty kicks, potentially penalty kicks. He will have a lot of freedom in this game, and I think that he will get us those two shots that we need. Torino and Inter are facing off in the next matchup in Serie A, guys, and Torino is a very solid home team. They have one win, three draws, and zero losses at home. But Inter, on the other side, has been absolutely perfect when it comes to playing on the road. They have three wins out of three games, seven scored goals, zero conceded goals. The biggest problem for Inter right now is that they're playing in the Champions League next week against Red Bull Salzburg, who is a very, very solid team. So, uh, are they a little bit more focused on that one? They probably are. They're probably already there in that game, but I think that they could get a goal here, at least one. But also, I think that Torino could do a solid job here in this game as well. So I think it's going to be a tight game, and for that reason, I'm going to give this one a shot at the draw. Plus 280. It's a great price for a draw, if you ask me. The books are not seeing it, otherwise, it would be much closer to plus 200, but I'm going to give it a shot at the draw. And the last game in Serie A is between Sassuolo and Lazio. Now, the books are slightly favoring Lazio here, even though they're playing on the road, and even though they are playing in the Champions League next week against Feyenoord on the road. I think that the books might be wrong here. I think that Sassuolo is a very solid team. They have been showing a lot of that offensive firepower that we are used to seeing from them. They have been scoring goals quite consistently, I gotta say. And Lazio hasn't been the greatest team on their own. They have conceded 8 goals in 4 games, scored only four. So, if anything, I will give the advantage to Sassuolo here. But I will take Sassuolo team total over 1.5 goals at plus 108 instead of Sassuolo money line. You can combine that, maybe get a nice plus money payout, but personally, I will stay to Sassuolo over 1.5 goals at plus 108. After the German Bundesliga, guys, and the first game we have is between Union Berlin and Stuttgart. Now, the books are slightly favoring Union Berlin, but I will fade them until they get the first win. Stuttgart is on a 6-7 game winning streak. They're scoring a ton of goals, while Union Berlin is on a 7 game losing streak right now. Now, can that be reversed here? It definitely could. But I'm taking a player prop, and you might have guessed which player I'm taking. I'm going to take Guirassi to have over 1.5 shots on target for Stuttgart. It's plus 170 once again. I cannot believe the books are giving us this price. We've got that price in their last game. He got like 3 or 4 shots on target. He scored a hat trick. Once again, the books are giving us the same price on the same pick, and I will gladly take it, guys. Darmstadt is hosting RB Leipzig in this next matchup, and Darmstadt is actually on a 2 game winning streak, while Leipzig hasn't won any of their last 3 games. I think that's about to change here. I think that Leipzig will try to step up here. They are getting some players back from the injury list, which is going to be huge for them, and it's going to be right on time for the Champions League matchup against Crvena Zvezda next week. So. Uh, I'm gonna go with Leipzig to win and over 2.5 goals, minus 109. The price is great. I like it, and I'm gonna go with it here in this game. Freiburg is hosting Bochum in the next matchup, and I'm keeping this one very, very simple, guys. Freiburg is the better team here. Bochum is struggling. They haven't won any of their last 14 games. They're horrible on their own. So, keeping it simple, I'm taking Freiburg on the money line, minus 155. They need to get their form back up. They're playing in in the Europa League next week. They need all the help they can get, and I think it starts here against Bochum. So, I'm taking Freiburg on the money line. Hoffenheim and Eintracht is going to be another interesting matchup in Bundesliga. And I know that Eintracht hasn't been scoring a lot of goals. They have been struggling a lot in that attacking end. They really cannot get consistent. The good news for them is their defense has been solid, so that has been helping them a lot. But you know what? Hoffenheim has been absolutely lights out this season, especially when playing at home. And I see goals in this one, to be honest. I see goals on both sides. Hoffenheim is missing a few players. They're missing Kramaric, they're missing Kabak from that defensive line. So I think this is a great chance for Eintracht to get on the scoreboard, get a couple of goals or so. So I'm gonna go with both teams to score an over 2.5, minus 117. I think it's gonna be a great game, possibly the one I'm gonna watch, and I think it's gonna be quite enjoyable. Wolfsburg and Bayer Leverkusen is the next matchup here. And you know what? Wolfsburg has been quite solid this season. They have 3 home wins in those 3 games, undefeated, solid defensively. They have some offense going their way. While Leverkusen on the other side has basically been unstoppable. They are scoring a ton of goals. They're creating a ton of chances. Xabi Alonso is doing an outstanding job leading this young team. And I don't think that Wolfsburg has the defense to stop them. But I also think that Leverkusen doesn't have the defense to stop Wolfsburg on their own. So both teams to score over 2.5, minus 125. I think this is the way to go with this one. Possibly even over 3.5 goals if the luck is going to be on our side. So Wolfsburg against Leverkusen, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. The last game of the day in the German Bundesliga is between Mainz and Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich needs to keep their form up. They are scoring a lot of goals, yes. They are also conceding a lot of goals, which potentially is a good chance for Mainz to get to the scoreboard. And Mainz has been showing some signs of life. They did get a draw in their last game, 2-2 against Gladbach. Uh, in the past, they did score against Bayern quite often when playing at home, so I'm kind of hoping for that here as well, but I'm gonna take Bayern Munich to win and over 3.5 goals, minus 112. you can see that we have to dig deep for some value here. Over 2.5 is priced so high. Bayern to win and over 2.5 is priced very high. So I just had to go with Bayern to win and over 3.5 goals at minus 112. In the French League One, guys, we have two games, and the first one is between PSG and Strasbourg. PSG, I mean, in League One, they have been all over the place, and when finally Mbappe got back, they started scoring some goals. They have been doing a decent job in that attack again. But I believe they might be a little bit more focused on the Champions League against Milan next week. As far as Strasbourg goes, they're on a three-game losing streak, and I think the biggest problem for Strasbourg here is that they simply do not have the defense to stop any of the PSG's players. Whoever's going to end up playing in that starting lineup, I think that Strasbourg will have to resort to some roughness here to make some extra fouls, uh, get a bit injured, so to speak. So I'm gonna take the cards here. I'm gonna take over 3.5 cards, minus 121. If PSG gets one or two, great. I think that's Strasbourg alone can get us over 3.5 lines. So if PSG is willing to help, fine by me. The price is pretty great and the line is not too high. So over 3.5 cards at minus 121. And the last pick of this video before the parlays is between Nice and Marseille, also in the French League One. Now, Nice has been on fire as of late. They're undefeated in their last six, seven, eight games in a row. They have been solid defensively. They have kept a few clean sheets. They're coming off of a 1-0 win against Metz. However, Marseille is actually very good when it comes to scoring goals. The only problem I see is the fact that they're missing a couple of players from that defensive line, and that should be a decent opportunity for Nice here. But I don't think that Nice has enough to beat Marseille here. So I think it's going to be a battle. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see a nil-nil draw here. So this is going to be another game where I'm going to go with the draw, plus 240. If you don't have to bet it, guys, if you don't like it, just skip it, guys. It's going to be a tough game. I really could not make up my mind which way to go. And mostly that's the reason why I'm going with the draw at plus 240. Like I said, guys, at the end of this video, we have two parlays, and this is the first one that I have for you, the one that I made, and that is Manchester United on the money line. PSG team total over 1.5 goals. Guerassi over 1.5 shots on target. That's how much I like it to put it in a parlay. Atletico Madrid to score or their team total over zero point 0.5 goals. And Sassuolo versus Lazio, both teams to score. This pays out at plus 730. Like I said, it's a good parlay. I like it a lot. I'll be putting a whole unit on it, and hopefully it hits for us. Now, the second big parlay that I have that I created using those betting tools I talked about, it's a 10 leg parlay. I went high and I went strong, guys. $10 pays out 1933. Celta Vigo, Atletico Madrid over 2.5 goals. Torino Inter over under 2.5 goals. PSG money line, Nottingham Forest money line. Hoffenheim Eintracht over 2.5. Wolfsburg Leverkusen over 2.5. Darmstadt Leipzig over 2.5. Manchester City money line. Nice Marseille over 2.5. Sassuolo money line. And that's it, guys. 10 leg parlay, like I said. $10 stakes pays out 1933. Uh, I mean, even if you put like 10% on it or something like that, or just put $10 on it, and if this hits, hey, you have a nice winner. So that's all, guys, from me today for this European videos. Thank you for joining me here. Feel free to leave a comment on any of these videos. I'll be more than happy to answer. And of course, stay tuned for more videos coming up to YouTube. And that's it. Good luck with your bets. Enjoy your Saturday, and I'll see you soon.